How many times has someone twisted your own words against you? Wasn't it you who expressed that? Interesting how perspectives shift when the focus is on you. These are phrases familiar to anyone who speaks excessively. Have you observed that certain individuals possess a natural magnetism? They step into a room, and without uttering a single word, everyone acknowledges their presence. It's not luck. It's not mere coincidence. It's a calculated approach. While most rush to articulate, defend, and clarify themselves, those who truly grasp influence remain silent, analyze, and bide their time. They effortlessly cultivate an air of mystery, compelling others to speculate about their thoughts. Some individuals can assess and decipher a room without verbalizing a thing. They enter a space and instantly perceive who holds authority, who harbors insecurities, and who is merely putting on a front. They detect unspoken tensions, falsehoods hidden behind friendly smiles, and motives concealed beneath courtesy. These people are not supernatural. They have simply refined the art of acute observation. We exist in a world overwhelmed by noise, where everyone is eager to be noticed, yet few possess the ability to genuinely listen. There's a misconception that those who dominate conversations wield the most power. In reality, true authority lies with those who master the art of silence and keen observation. Sun Tzu once wrote, "If you know the enemy and know yourself, you need not fear the outcome of 100 battles." But understanding others demands more than words. It requires an awareness of what remains unspoken. Many assume that observation is merely about looking, but seeing and perceiving are not synonymous. True observation is discerning what lingers beneath the surface. It's recognizing the hesitation before a reply, the fleeting glance, the tension in someone's posture as they feign relaxation, and the subtle tonal shift that betray concealed unease. Words can deceive, but the body never conceals the truth. Machiavelli comprehended this deeply. To him, the pursuit of power wasn't won solely through speeches, but through an acute awareness of gestures, actions, and omissions. A true tactician does not rely on spoken words, but on the insights revealed in minor details. Consider the employer who showers the team with praise, but avoids eye contact. The friend who assures you their support, yet crosses their arms and steps back when you truly need them. The individual who smiles, only to immediately press their lips together, suppressing a thought they don't wish to voice. The colleague who nods in agreement but subtly angles their feet toward the exit, signaling their eagerness to leave. The leader who claims unwavering confidence but whose rigid shoulders and restless hands tell another story. What is truly vital is rarely verbalized. It lies in gestures, pauses, and omissions. If this alone unveils so much, imagine what can be gleaned from those who speak excessively. Those who act impulsively become predictable. Those who fail to regulate their emotions become vulnerable. In chess, the impatient player moves recklessly and falls into traps. In life, the same principle applies. Have you ever noticed how certain individuals always seem to respond flawlessly at the right moment, as if they had anticipated every possible outcome? It's not about intellect or brute strength. It's about perception. However, observation isn't solely about deciphering others. It also unveils your own nature. If you are unaware of your emotional triggers, you'll be easily manipulated. Does being ignored agitate you? Does silence in a conversation make you uneasy? Does waiting for a response heighten your anxiety? Each of these reactions reveals something about you, and a perceptive individual can exploit them to their advantage. If you do not understand your own emotions, rest assured, someone else will, and they will wield them against you. To sharpen your observational abilities, challenge yourself. Spend an entire day merely watching. When someone speaks, notice the microexpressions, the subtle body language, the shifts in vocal tone, and the pauses between words. By the end of the day, you will have grasped something invaluable. Everyone yearns to be heard, yet few comprehend the strength in remaining silent. There's a stark contrast between those who talk to fill the void and those who understand the significance of waiting for the opportune moment. And it is precisely this unpredictability that renders silence such a formidable ally. Silence is not passivity. It is an intentional maneuver. It grants you the opportunity to assess before reacting, to weigh your words, to detect concealed motives, and to dismantle adversaries without exposing yourself. Reacting in the heat of the moment is a fundamental mistake. When we speak impulsively, we reveal our insecurities, divulge unnecessary information, and inadvertently become predictable. To Machiavelli, power resided not just in speech, but, more crucially, in what was deliberately left unsaid. A ruler who talks excessively becomes ensnared by their own words. A strategist who unveils their plans prematurely forfeits their advantage. When someone provokes you, their objective is to elicit a reaction. When someone applies pressure, their aim is to unsettle you. But when you maintain silence, you dismantle their strategy. The absence of a response forces them to second-guess themselves, filling the void with their own uncertainties. This principle applies to disputes, negotiations, and even personal relationships. Often, the lack of response carries more weight than any spoken rebuttal. Silence is also a tool for self-regulation. In moments of crisis, the individual who remains composed naturally assumes dominance. Amidst turmoil, when everyone else is clamoring to be heard, the one who observes with patience exudes authority. Talking excessively is an impulsive move that often results in a disadvantage. But mastering silence is not merely about refraining from speech. It is about tolerating the discomfort of quietude, both in oneself and in others. Many struggle with silence because it compels them to confront their own thoughts. Yet, it is precisely within that space that authentic power resides. If you wish to test this in practice, spend 15 minutes a day in complete silence. No phone, no distractions, just you and your thoughts. Initially, it may feel unnatural, but over time, you'll discover that the more comfortable you become with silence, the less the silence of others will affect you. Silence is not absence. It is presence. It is not weakness. It is strategy. When wielded wisely, it becomes one of the most potent tools available. There exists a form of power that does not necessitate self-assertion through words, a power sculpted from absence, from the unspoken, from the void left when a response is expected but never arrives. Silence, when deployed with precision, becomes a mechanism of influence. It generates mystery, compels others to impose their own interpretations, creates unease, and ultimately forces others to seek validation. Sun Tzu maintained that all warfare is founded upon deception, and silence is among the most refined methods of misleading without ever uttering a falsehood. In negotiations, the individual who speaks least typically holds the upper hand. Those who overfill conversations with words inadvertently expose their nerves, unveil unnecessary details, and prematurely disclose their intentions. Conversely, those who understand the power of silence compel the other party to talk more, exposing their weaknesses and often conceding without realizing it. Strategic silence cultivates an aura of authority. Leaders who preserve an element of mystery are respected precisely because their unpredictability makes them difficult to manipulate. Predictable individuals, those who always articulate their thoughts and react instantaneously, are easy to control. However, those who leave questions unanswered, who create deliberate pauses, who do not immediately reveal their emotions or intentions, exert an unseen dominance over others. Silence, when harnessed effectively, transforms how others perceive you, and more importantly, how you perceive yourself. It fortifies self-discipline. Those who fail to master their own silence ultimately become prisoners of the world's noise. If this perspective resonates with you and you seek to explore deeper truths about life, subscribe to the channel and share this insight with others who, like you, are among the awakened.